Hi, and welcome to Quantum Heart Rising. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I wanted to use it as an opportunity to give a little update and to shine a light on my inner perfectionist. So a little bit of backstory. Many years ago now, I had an experience that woke me up to my multidimensional nature. In that time, I got to know myself beyond this current expression as Christina Labors. Obviously, it had a profound effect on how I see the world. In that time, it not only allowed me to see myself beyond the veil, but it also allowed me to experience my unconscious in a way that most people haven't. And for the last decade, I've been working one-on-one with people as a spiritual coach, as a hypnotherapist, and also as a BQH practitioner. So BQH is a modality that allows people to step into their more multidimensional awareness. So it came really naturally and felt like a really obvious fit. So I have, I guess, a view that not everybody has, and that's why I felt that it was valuable to share. But I also have parts that hate being in the spotlight. And these parts are much more comfortable sticking in the sidelines, observing, watching, figuring things out. But I also have parts that do want a little bit of the spotlight. And this felt like a really good way to do that because I have the potential of reaching more people, but I'm really just in a room with no one. So coming into how my inner perfectionist fits into all this. When I initially came up with the idea to maybe start a YouTube channel, the plan was that I would create 10 videos and have a nice little backlog of videos so that it wouldn't be stressful at all. I would try to put one out every week, but if I couldn't for whatever reason, there was no stress. Great idea on the surface. Unfortunately, it didn't work for me. And the reason it didn't work for me is because my inner perfectionist had infinity in front of her. And there was always things to change, to tweak, to re-record. And so I ended up with this pile of recordings and hadn't put anything out. And none of them felt like they were really ready to go out. I wasn't comfortable with it. So it dawned on me that the only way I was actually going to get this channel actually started was to just do it. That's why my first video is called Ready or Not, because that's what it was about. It was like, I just have to do it. I'm just going to record and make the best of what I have, but whatever I have, that's it. By this Friday or whatever the day was, it's going out. I'm so glad I did that because it's been such an amazing learning. The first thing, which made it so much easier, was the fact that nobody was even watching. So all this stuff of worrying about putting something out there was really for nothing. Because, well, first of all, I didn't tell anyone that I started the channel except for my husband and one friend. Initially, I had told nobody. So it really didn't matter. The videos would get a few views. And fortunately, the first video I put out actually did connect to some really lovely people and I got some beautiful comments. So it was very encouraging. It felt like a really great way to learn. I had to learn on the go. And by having this deadline of having to put something out every single week, the inner perfectionist in me, she struggled with that because, as like we saw before, when there was no deadline, nothing happened because it was always something. So this was a big process of letting go. And there were a lot of parts of me involved, I guess, but the main part that really stood out was the inner perfectionist because I'd have to put videos out and I'd have a window of the time that I had allotted for editing them. And I might sit down to begin and realize, oh, my class is completely crooked. Or, oh, I really didn't explain that ideally. And the thing is that I really had to get used to going, you know what? It's okay. My glasses are crooked or whatever the issue was. It's not the end of the world. It's okay. It's okay. And the other thing is the editing. That's been such a massive learning curve for me because, well, I've done guided meditations in the past. The focus was on the audio, and so I did get quite good at playing with that. But having a visual added is a whole other ball game. and learning to navigate things like jump cuts, just all the little ins and outs. I think jump cuts are my hardest thing because there's always pieces that I need to cut out and change. And along the way, I actually realized that because I'm a writer by nature, I like to take the time to really find the right words, the right sentence, exactly how I want to express something. And in these kind of videos where I'm just kind of chatting, honestly, I don't come up with the best things the first time round. So it does take me time. It is very much an art form for me, just sitting there kind of carving and building what I want to say. And also, when I just talk off the cuff, there's times when I repeat things or waffle on, go off on tangents. And while sometimes that can be great to just sit and connect and listen to someone explore ideas, it's not as concise as it could be. And I know that time is precious. So I thought it would be a good idea to create these more curated videos where I bring in B-roll and it's not just me chatting, it's actually created a script that I create. And there is a lot of fun for me in that because I do love the crafting, the creating, and also I love getting the B-roll and the images, having that opportunity to have visuals. Like that's something really exciting for me because as a writer, I haven't had a lot of that. And so I've actually found like some of the things that I talk about are a bit abstract or might be difficult to express, and having this opportunity to bring visuals in is really exciting. So there's a lot in me that feels excited about the process. But the reality is, I'm not a video editor and I have very little experience with that. So while I might have this vision of how I'd like it to look, I can't actually create that. So I'm trying to stay relatively simple because I'm not doing this to create amazingly edited videos. I'm doing this to share ideas. So that's the real backbone of what I'm creating. And so my inner perfectionist has had to really, yeah, accept that things aren't going to be perfect. It's a big learning curve, and I am learning all the time. I think with time, I will get better at that side of things. And so what we're doing now is trying to find, and I say we, meaning me and all my parts, we're trying to move forward in a way where it feels like we're moving forward as a team. So it's not a situation where I've got these really inflated dominant parts that are dragging other parts in the background who are trying to sabotage the process, who are digging their heels in, who are not comfortable moving forward. I'm trying to move forward in a way that I'm operating with an inner team and all voices have something to share and are valued and important. So even the inner perfectionist, it's not that she's a bad guy in this story that's making it harder than it needs to be, not at all. Like she actually has a really important role. Her role is to advocate for high standards. And if she's completely in control, like what happened when I had no deadlines, it didn't work. But if she's part of the team, then she fits in a way that's really valuable. So there'll be times like this is actually the second time I've recorded this. And I sort of went, I'm not going to record this a second time. I'm really not. I'm just going to do it and I'm going to put it out there. And I started working with it. I'm like, yeah, whatever it is, I'm just going to make it work. Obviously, the inner perfectionist was just squirming through the whole process. And in the end, I valued it from a whole perspective, and she was right. In that case, like really, nah. It's really, we can't put that out. It's got so many problems. There's so many things wrong with it. We're just gonna sit down and re-record. To me, it's all about balance. And that's the other issue with taking on this project is that it's taking up a lot of room. And in terms of balance, I need to have a lot of spaciousness in my life. I want to have room to be with my family. I want to have room to be with friends. I want to have room to be with my clients. I want to have room to work on my health. And I want to have a sense of spaciousness that I have time to really just connect on a soul level, to do things like to me, it's important to do things that nourish my soul, whether it be just laying out in nature, watching the clouds go by overhead, playing with my animals, doing something creative, whatever it is, I need that in my picture to feel really good and really alive. And so while this project is taking up a lot of room, there definitely is something in it that's lighting me up because I want to make it fit. I feel like it brings together so many things in me that I love. So sharing my ideas and gathering, writing, finding all the bits and pieces, all of that feels also very soul aligned and I feel excited about it. So it's just going to be about figuring out how to make that work. So as I move forward, I do hope that this channel does grow. I'm in a space now. Initially, I was really, really happy to not have anybody or very few people watching. But I feel like I'm at a place now where I would like to see it build. So if anyone is out there watching and you resonate with this, please consider doing some of those things that appease the algorithm gods. And if there's anyone else that you think might resonate, please do share with them. Because that's what I really want. I want to be speaking to people who really get what I'm saying, who really are intrigued or interested. And as I said, I have a lot to share, and it should get pretty interesting as we move along. So I'll finish there with that from my heart to yours. Let's come together and build a future on the foundation of love.